Hello and welcome to another edition of National Focus. I'm Nisha Charles. Coming up, Prime Minister Skerrit and his cabinet pay an official visit to apartment complexes in Elmshall and Bath Estate. The Dominica Solid Waste Corporation calls for a reduction in plastic waste, and the Environmental Health Department focuses on food safety for Environmental Health Month. Details of these and other stories after this.
You're watching GIS.
Thanks for staying with us. The Labour Party administration has continually sought to improve the housing conditions of Dominicans. The Housing Revolution program has moved to yet another level. For the first time under the program, 2 apartment complexes have been built to accommodate low-income families. Kimani Saint-Jean reports from Bath Estate.
The government of Dominica continues to make good on its promise of improving the housing situation in Dominica. The most recent developments, building apartments in Bath Estate and Elmshall. On Wednesday, members of cabinet and members of the Chinese diplomatic mission to Dominica did an official walkthrough of the recently completed Bath Estate and Elmshall apartment building complexes. 60 modern apartments, 24 2-bedroom and 36 3-bedroom units will be made available to selected families in the coming weeks. Prime Minister Skerrit says this new development is evidence of government's commitment to improving the housing situation in Dominica.
The government embarked on a very ambitious housing revolution program. And as the minister indicated, we started off with the regularization of squatters, people who had been squatting since Hurricane David. This was the first government that initiated a program, an organized program to regularize thousands of families across the length and breadth of Dominica. Another component of the housing revolution was the actual construction of homes for people. Across Dominica, every community in Dominica has benefited from the housing revolution insofar as construction of new homes, insofar as home repairs and the construction of washrooms. This is the first government that has systematically sought to address the housing problem in this country.
The apartments are primarily for single parents and low-income families working in and around the city. Minister for Housing, Honorable Reginald Austri, revealed that the intention is for the apartments to be leased until ownership. The Honorable Minister for Housing also informed that over 900 applications have been received.
It's going to be a tedious task to decide on well, we have the selection criteria, but many people would fit the criteria. More than 60% would fit the criteria, so we're going to have a challenge in deciding or determining who actually benefits from these buildings. As you've seen, the quality, it's top quality, nice finish, well designed, and we're really hoping that the persons who receive those buildings will have the appreciation for the efforts that this government has made in taking us to that level.
I expect that by next week the government will be in a position to, first of all, finalize its approval of the conditions under which, the criteria rather, under which people will be selected, and also to come to the 60 families who would eventually be allocated those apartments. Now this is an extraordinary task of determining all the 900. Clearly, I've been told about 60% of those who applied based on the draft criteria we have met those criteria. So one can appreciate that you have quite a number of people to choose from.
The maintenance of the buildings is also another matter to be settled before the handing over.
So we have to put a management structure in place. We have to maintain the ambience and the aesthetics. They'll be called upon to landscape. They'll be called upon to beautify. They'll be called upon to keep it clean. And we'll keep monitoring it as we go along. And if we find anybody not in compliance with the conditions that are laid down, then the government would have to take appropriate action. But we're hoping that Dominicans with their usual taste for class and quality will in fact appreciate it and enjoy the buildings.
The apartments are fully fitted with all utilities including broadband internet, cable and water heating. These apartments are as a result of a soft loan from the People's Republic of China. Kimani Serjan for GIS News.
Thanks, Kimani. The Honorable Minister for Health, Dr. Kenneth Darrow, is stressing the importance of the jobs of the staff of the Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation. The Minister for Health accompanied the Honorable Prime Minister to hold discussions with staff of the corporation on Monday.
As the Minister of Health and even as a citizen of the Commonwealth of Dominica, that I understand the importance that the management and staff of the Solid Works Corporation play in the whole scheme of national development. Obviously, if there's no one to pick up the solid waste, the liquid waste, the garbage, the country can be catapulted into a chaos for health reasons, sanitary, hygienic reasons. So I don't really want to let them know for the record that we do appreciate the work that they do. Clearly, going forward, we have to find ways, as the young lady, Miss McLaurin, said, to make the corporation more sustainable, because there's money to be made out of garbage. I have had the opportunity going around representing Dominica as a minister to visit a number of recycling plants around the world where garbage, everything, both the organic, metals, can be put to use, even to produce energy, water heating facilities, etc. So what I've done so far as the minister, I've started with the management of solid waste on a couple of occasions and see how we can chat our way forward, because clearly recycling, as I said, and getting Solid Waste Corporation sustainable. Clearly, as I said, the workers, some of the concerns, they have legitimate concerns. There's the issue of personal protected equipment. All of these are issues that we have to address. But as I said, I really want to let them know that under the new management, as me as the minister, that they will get the support of the Minister of Health, and they also got the commitment, most importantly, of the Minister of Finance, who is the one who controls the country's resources, as to see how we can address some of these concerns.
In more news, the Honorable Minister for Public Works, Ian Pinard, has affirmed that work will resume shortly on the Despot and Alicray roads. The Honorable Minister gave an update of the Despot Road project at Parliament last week.
Rehabilitation works commenced on the Sylvania to Despot Main Road in September 2014. The government provided funds in the amount of $325,000 to the Campbell Despot Village Council for the rehabilitation of section of road and drain measuring 455 meters long. Those works have been satisfactorily completed by local contractors. Less than 275 meters or 1.9 kilometers of road remain to be completed.
Honorable Pinard assured that these roads remains a priority and that the next phase will begin shortly. The Alicray Road is also an object of focus.
Excavation works for the 3.2 kilometers or 2 miles of road has already been completed. The estimated amount for road and drains are estimated at $1.7 million. It will form part of the portfolio of works by the Ministry of Public Works. In closing, I think this is the first time in the communities of Despot and Campbell and Sylvania that the government has invested so much in those communities.
The minister credited the project to the area's parliamentary representative, Honorable Raymond Blackmore, who promised the project and is working to deliver. In more news, the Environmental Health Department is focusing on issues of food safety with special emphasis on fish sanitation, vector control and occupational health and safety throughout the month of June. From June 1st to 31st, the department is celebrating Environmental Health Month, and this year activities will be held under the theme, Protecting Our Environment for Future Generations. The Honorable Minister with Special Responsibility for the Environment, Ivor Stevenson, says over the last decade, the government has made food safety a public health priority.
This is being attained by developing policies and a regulatory framework with the aim of establishing and implementing effective food safety systems that ensure food producers and suppliers along the whole food chains operate responsibly and supply safe food to consumers. The Environmental Health Department, over the period mentioned, placed emphasis on the education and certification of food handlers, the inspection and certification of food establishments, inspection and certification of meat and other foods, the education of consumers. Notwithstanding the achievements articulated, food safety continues to be a challenge. This year, we collaborated with Fisheries Division to promote fish hygiene standards among our fisher folks for World Health Day. We intend to intensify this campaign during the Environmental Health Month by holding town hall meetings at Fonkole, Maho, Scott's Head, Marigot, and Fonseja, with the objective of informing the public on fish sanitation and actions required by consumers for adherence of these standards.
One of the main activities of the month will be a series of workshops with executive members of 13 fisheries cooperatives in Dominica. The objective is to inform management, personnel of food safety regulations and standards in the fishing industry. The Honorable Minister for Kalanaga Affairs, Cassius Daru, is praising the work of the National Employment Program. According to the Honorable Minister, over 100 people from the Salivia constituency are gainfully employed under the National Employment Program in various fields.
Under the government, the NEP program, the people of the Salivia constituency, we have had almost 118 persons being employed, something that has never happened before. We have, under the Yes We Care program, almost 40 persons employed. We have care for the elderly with almost 60 persons employed. We have the 70 years plus. We are there receiving financial contribution monthly.
Honorable Daru was speaking at the second meeting of the first session of the 9th Parliament last week. You're watching National Focus. Still to come, the Solid Waste Management Corporation calls for a reduction of plastic waste. Stay with us.
Did you know the Caribbean Court of Justice is 2 courts in 1? The CCJ has 2 functions: an original jurisdiction, which deals with your right to move between CARICOM countries freely and your right to move your money and your business. This is the basis of the CARICOM Single Market and Economy, CSME, and the revised Treaty of Chaguaramas, and an appellate jurisdiction to hear appeals from courts of those countries which decide to use it as their final court of appeal and no longer go to the Privy Council. All CARICOM member states who have signed the agreement establishing the CCJ are members of the CCJ.
Welcome back. The Dominica Solid Waste Management Corporation is looking to reduce the amount of plastic waste disposed of at the landfill. Acting manager of the corporation, Florian Mitchell, says with the commissioning of a recycling plant, reducing plastic waste and other material would be more efficient in Dominica.
At our facility, we have a pet shredder that we got from Coca-Cola. If you just look ahead, you'll see a whole set of plastics that we have stockpiled. So we're asking the public, you could participate. Even if there is no recycling system in your community, you could separate your plastics, you could drop it to the landfill at no charge to you. These are some of the simple ways that you could assist. What we'd want to do is, after the commission of the plant, shred those material and export it.
In 2013, some 299 million tons of plastic waste was produced worldwide. According to the United Nations Development Program, between 22 and 48% of plastic material is disposed of in landfills, taking up valuable space. 10 to 20 million tons of plastic end up in the oceans each year. The average plastic can take up to 450 years to decompose. The Honorable Minister for Planning, Dr. Con Jolly McIntyre, has confirmed that the low-cost houses currently under construction in Castle Bruce are in compliance with the island's building codes. Honorable Dr. McIntyre was responding to a question posed by members of the opposition at the House of Assembly last Wednesday, May 27th.
The houses were approved by planning on date 12 November 2009 by letter dated 22nd January 2012. Foundations have been built with the plans approved by planning. However, due to slight weathering of the PVC, we made some changes to the PVC, and we incorporated blocks and timber according to the building standards.
The 10 houses, originally part of the Petro Casa arrangement, were funded by the government of Dominica at a cost of $750,000. Work began last October. Government is discussing the possible export of Dominica's bulk water to other countries. The Honourable Minister for Water Resource Management, Reginald Austrie, confirmed this at a meeting of Parliament last week.
The government in Damasco continues to seek opportunities to supply bulk water to neighboring countries and countries further afield. In this regard, we have invited several businesses and are currently in discussions with at least 3 firms on the business of bulk water supply. Discussions are at an advanced stage, and it is hoped that an agreement could be finalized with one of these firms, Arctic Blue Water from Europe, within the not-too-distant future.
Honourable Austrie added that while challenges exist, the DLP government continues to explore the options.
And this has to do with issues in the receiving country having the capacity to store the water, Madam Speaker. We also have issues for the transportation of water, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, we're quite willing and ready. We upgraded our Cambridge facility, Madam Speaker, and anybody, local or otherwise, who wants some support from the government, Madam Speaker, in doing the business in bulk water, can approach the government, and we're very happy to facilitate, Madam Speaker.
And that's the English news. McPherson St. Luce is next with the Creole highlights.
Cricket fans and cricket lovers, come witness the mighty Aussies take on the West Indies team in the first test match. Windsor Bank Stadium, Dominica, June 3rd to 7th. Dominica, the Caribbean and the world. Dominica welcomes you to exciting Windows versus Australia test match. June 3rd to 7th for Windsor Bank Stadium, Dominica. We just love our cricket.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi, c'est McPherson St. Luce. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit répond à une en Parlement qui a concerné l'argent qui allait pour l'Office Electoral Commission. Ça fait ça là, tenu pour faire EPI4 identité, qui le département là supposé qu'à échouer à public là. Si le Premier ministre Skerrit, Electoral Commission te fait proposition pour plus de $3 millions, l'argent pour te poursuivre équipement, maintenance et puis paiement pour ces cartes d'identité là. Le Premier ministre a dit pour l'année financière, l'année 2013-2014, plus que 600 avec $97 000 dépensés. Pour l'autre année financière là, l'année 2014-2015, plus que 900 avec $77 000 aussi dépensés. L'occasion ça là, ça c'est allocation ça là. Tenny budgetary allowance, yon sont avec $63 000 et puis 14 sous. À la nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominique par chef Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit visite le projet appartement la Coudoué et puis Elmshall Jordan. C'est appartement là bâti au loan et puis l'intérêt qui bien bas qui Dominique obtenu hard People's Republic of China. Ministre Poukai Honorable Reginald Austrie parlait par médias à cette occasion-là.
Plaisir comme ministre qui est en charge des affaires cases et le gouvernement là parce qu'il y a un lot d'autres bagages nous ça faire l'argent là nous chimé pour bâtir nous on l'autre travail nous ça faire mais nous décidé que les affaires cases Dominique sont dans mauvais état et 10 années qui passé nous sortir c'est ça nous créer en révolution case là nous regarder différents gens qui nous savent les monde est-ce c'est pour nous faire taper terre plus cheap pour nous taper bon terre comme Point Michel pour nous aider à ranger case pour nous bâtir case nous avons fait ça avec un bon plaisir pour le travail là que nous avons regardé aujourd'hui. Combien de monde Dominique qui a besoin de case, c'est le monde qui fait application, c'est le monde qui travaille, c'est le monde qui a l'argent. Pour ça, c'est moi qui est en marché en la place pour ça faire bâtir case. Et ça, premier ministre c'est une bonne opportunité pour le private sector. Parce que ça fait case même pas ça, ça fait gouvernement tout seul. Mais le private sector a une chance, nous sommes partenaires avec eux, le gouvernement nous sommes rentrés en agrément pour servir là, pour bâtir case et puis vendre. Parce que les gens ne pas commander pour case là pour rien. C'est les gens là, c'est les gens qui ont l'argent, ils ont travaillé, nous connaissons là, ils ont travaillé, nous connaissons depuis qu'ils ont travaillé. Et ils ont l'argent pour acheter case là. Comme ça, c'est une bonne opportunité pour le secteur, private sector, mettre l'argent la bouche et pour aider le gouvernement pour développer le pays là.
Ministre se fait parole que la révolution caille en Dominique continue.
L'idée nous c'est pour nous bâtir pour nous bâtir 1,500 cases pendant l'autre cycle là, comme ça nous continuer à bâtir cases. Ça nous peut faire, c'est pour nous bâtir cases, des gens qui déjà n'étaient, et bien ils passer à fond pour bâtir cases là. Nous qui mettre attention à ça. Et ça, nous bâtir cases en Belleville-Chopin, nous bâtir cases en Saint-Joe, nous bâtir cases en Castle-Bruce, nous bâtir cases en Lily Valley, Trafalgar, nous bâtir cases Guantans. Et ça, nous avons commencé à expérimenter avec apartment buildings. Comme ça, t'es pas qu'à venir plus, t'es qu'à finir, et nous pouvons faire best use à cette terre là comme ça. Ça nous avons nous pas aller across, nous pas aller en haut après ça. Et nous avons regardé comment c'est ça là qu'allait jouer. Peut-être nous avons décidé pour nous faire plus apartment buildings à Dominica. Comme ça, on a regardé l'eau filage, ça nous a fait. Mais nous avons petit à petit parce que tout ça vous fait, quand dépend assez, on a fait l'argent là pour faire ça ou faire. Et merci bon Dieu, nous sommes bons amis en China qui a fait nous l'argent comme cadeau, grant. Ou bien nous avons fait nous taper l'argent à petit peu l'été 1%, 2%. Où nous faisons ça, nous avons fait, nous sommes bons amis en Venezuela, nous sommes bons amis en China. Et comme le Premier ministre a commencé à marcher, pays pour pays, pour supporter l'économie dominique, nous avons dit que nous sommes dans une bonne position pour nous continuer à révolutionner housing.
À la nouvelle, même parlement pour Guambé, Honorable Justin Charles, qui a fait parole la peine pour la mort ancien président Dr. Nicholas Liverpool. Honorable Charles fait parole que la communauté Guambé, où le président Liverpool sorti, perdu au bonhomme Dominique aussi.
Nous, en Guambé, moi-même, avec famille, avec tout le monde Guambé, on l'a dit, ils sont peine pour nous en laisse là, pour nous, ouais, à présent, Dr. Nicholas Liverpool, il était président Dominique, il mort, il pour quitter nous en laisse là, à la vie, mais nous, ça, bon Dieu, qu'à contrôler tout vite, avec, mais à laisse là, il still wed pour nous catcher. Un homme qui fait tellement pour nous en village Guambé, il fait en l'église là, il fait en l'école, il fait différentes organisations communes. Il fait pour Dominique, pour nous, ça va laisser là. Juste là, nous, dernière fois, nous, et pas de long, juste avant aller l'autre pays, nous, garder qu'on homme qui était plein force, ça still continuer travail. Mais bon Dieu, ça va meilleur, à présent, il quitte nous, mais nous, ni pour continuer travail là, il fait.
Honorable Charles, bien plaisir que le gouvernement Dominique te reconnaisse le travail de Dr. Liverpool avant de passer.
Le gouvernement j'ai recognisé tout ce travail là il fait et ben nous bien content at least gouvernement fait ça à 20 mois pour moi c'est ça qui est plus important comment on traiter au monde pendant qu'il vivre et ben pas les mots so pour moi mon bien content nous fait ça nous tenir pour faire so pour Jean Gouambé mon dit yo nous chebe fort nous continuer travail moi dit Miss Liverpool Dr. Liverpool là avec nous because nous savons ça a été que voulait pour nous savons comment était que travailler avec nous et ben nous le dit pour famille Madame Lee, Mrs. Verna Liverpool, et les enfants nous le dit, nous le dit, nous séparer en peine à présent, parce que nous savons comment ils sont dans les salles, pour nous aimer, et les gens qui fait tellement vite en la vie, nous, ni pour quitter nous. Donc nous savons ça sont vite, qui ont obligé de venir dans la vie, mais en les salles, les venir, qui a toujours été. So nous le dit, et continuer de dépendre de Jésus, pour qu'ils fonce avec quoi il a besoin, pour continuer.
Et puis finalement, le ministère pour Public Works, Honorable Ian Pinard, qui a fait parole qui travaille pour mitigation mi-wai la main tout pour basse avion Douglas Charles, qui a resté en priorité pour le gouvernement. Le ministre Pinard fait parole ça là pendant la session parlement la semaine passée. Honorable Pinard fait parole qui estime cela déjà en zida et puis design pour le projet là qui a finalisé. Le ministre Pinard dit mi-wai ça là qui coûtait $30 millions pour bâtir. Mais il a coûté 36 millions pour upgrading. Le ministre Public Works a aussi une discussion et puis Marine Construction pour faire certainement que le projet là sorte bien soutenable. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle en créole pour à présent. Non, moi c'est McPherson. Au revoir.
Coming up, your tip of the day. Having trouble saving money? Why not try one of these tricks to get you on track with increasing your wealth? Try waiting an entire month before making that purchase that you're thinking of. This helps to curb those spur-of-the-moment buys and create your shopping list before you go to the store and stick to it. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS YouTube Dominica channel. From all of us here on the GIS News Desk, I'm Nisha Charles. Thanks for watching, and do join us again tomorrow.